I got my 8 votes. Some people didn't want me to talk about the weed thing, but I'm just gonna talk about it just because there's a lot of young folks that follow me, and if I could get them to not do drugs and alcohol, it's worth it, even if one person listens to this. I'm older now, you know. I've been through some of these phases. I guess I'm a murubi to some of these people. So it's best saying it. Just look at it this way. A lot of you guys that do smoke weed and do drugs or alcohol, just think about if you had a child, right? And yeah, you might think it's fine and everything, but if you're raising a child, do you honestly tell yourself, do you really want that child to start doing weed or drugs or alcohol, even though you think it's fine? If you honestly could say, yeah, you would want your kids to do that because you think it's beneficial, then I don't know, bro. You gotta, there's no use of you even listening to this video. But for those of you that deep down inside know that you wouldn't want your children to do that, then I think it's worth listening to. A lot of people didn't want me to talk about this, but it's an important message, so let me go ahead and say it anyways. How about that? How about that? Meet me outside. How about that? Whatever the hell that girl says. She probably high and toasted. That's why she says that. I think you shouldn't do weed, drugs, and alcohol because of the fact that you are not gonna live like that forever. Since we're talking about weed, I tried weed like 7 times. I had like 3 bad experiences. One time, since you're saying it's a miracle, one time I almost jumped out of a drop top in the freeway, and my boy, I'm not even gonna say his name, my boys had to save me because I thought, my dumb ass thought I was gonna jump out that car and start walking on the freeway. I was toasted. So I don't know how the hell that shit's a miracle. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have faced that moment, that experience. So I probably would have prevented a life-threatening situation if I didn't do that. So how was that a miracle? Other people, another time, crazy ass story, bro. I was with 2 of my boys. We was high off some shit, and we were going to watch a movie or something, and I started getting all these crazy ass thoughts in my head, and I was like, man, did y'all lace this shit? What y'all put on this in here, man? Is this weed or some other shit? They're like, no, it's weed. But I was getting these fucking crazy thoughts, like somebody's about to shoot me inside my head. Like, the guy inside of me, it's like I got a demon inside of me. He's like, look, if you don't do what I say to do, whatever I say, I'm gonna shoot your ass in the head, and then you're gonna die, and your friends are gonna think you had a seizure and died, but really I shot your ass in the head and I killed you. And I'm like, fuck, this guy got me fucked up, like I was schizophrenic or some shit. I don't know if anybody else had these type of experiences, but that shit messed me up. I heard some stories behind it, like if you have bad experiences with weed, then you might actually have some issues. So I don't know if I have issues myself, maybe, but that goes to show I'm living proof that weed's not a miracle, and especially not for everyone. But I will say this, it's probably good for some people, like people that got medical conditions, glaucoma, or like certain things, you know. And if you need it, if the doctor prescribes it legitimately, then yes, I understand that. But if you're fucking going around just smoking weed every day and you don't even need the shit just to fucking get high and feel good because you're fucking tired of your life or whatever, like, bro, we all got shitty problems. Doesn't mean I need to go smoke weed and get over it. Like, why not get used to my problems in my sober state? That's all I'm saying. That way I'm building myself and not some artificial person that I don't belong in this state, in this high state. I don't belong to that state. As soon as I, like, let's say I went to prison all of a sudden, I got locked up, I don't got weed with me anymore. So I built this artificial frequency that I can't even escape to anymore, and be that person unless I get some weed. Or why not build myself from the ground up, from the default state? That way, if I went to prison and I went to solitary confinement right now, it's not gonna crack my ass because I already built myself up. But if somebody that's getting high every day, they put his ass in solitary confinement, or if he's drinking all that, I bet you $1,000 he will crack within 2 days. They can't crack my ass like shit because I'm not into that drug shit or all that alcohol shit, you know, because I built myself without that stuff. Now, shit, I was gonna say something else about it. I'll probably mention it later. I will just say this though. Like, I mean, what is the motivator for people to just constantly smoke weed every day? I don't understand that shit. Like, trust me, I'm fucking sad, I'm depressed, I'm not happy with my life. I got fucking problems. I've been through a lot of shit, but I'm not fucking smoking weed. I don't drink and shit. Cause I always looked at those stuff, it's like, it's the easy way out. Why the fuck do I need to do that shit? It's not gonna solve anything. It's just for a temporary shit. I don't understand that. Like, some people, like some of my boys, a lot of them smoke weed and shit, but they tell me like, yeah, it's not about that. It's just about fun, you know? It's about like, I'm just trying to have some fun or some shit. Like, okay, if that's your reason, I kind of understand that, but at the same time, like, fuck, man, it's not always about fun. Like, if you did it once in a while, like once a year type of shit, twice a year, I can understand it's about fun. But if you're doing that shit every day, bro, that means like you're fucking trying to escape your life, or like you're trying to go to a different reality. Like, bro, that shit's just like, you're not getting used to your own life. You're just getting used to a false life, and you're making yourself dependent on substance and shit that you gotta purchase. And a better way to do it compared to fucking the other way, which is like you're just fucking escaping. Or one time when I did do weed, like I noticed when I smoked the whole blunt or joint or whatever, like it fucks me up. Like, I don't know, it's just not a good experience for me. But if I took like a few hits, it feels all right for me. But even when I do that, I know deep down inside that's not the state I want to be in. I just want to get used to myself instead of smoking weed or any of that shit, because I'm gonna have to constantly depend on these substances. To me, it's a waste of time. It's stupid. Like, I don't understand why people try to acknowledge that it's fine or it's a good thing to do it. Like, half of Michigan is high, but I don't know, man. Unless I'm the fucking crazy oddball out, or I'm the sane one. I don't know what the fuck's going on, because everybody apparently is getting high except me. Because even though I tried it, it's not my thing. Or drinking, none of that shit. I just want to live a natural default life, man, without any of this intoxication or weed and shit. I mean, you know, I'm not even talking about it from a religious perspective, but obviously it's you know, it's not allowed religiously, because it's like it alters the mind and makes you do things that you're not supposed to do, or that you wouldn't do usually. It's not worth it, because it's not gonna be me. It's not really me. It's just me changing myself to another frequency. If God wanted me in that frequency, he would have made me in that frequency, right? He would have made my mind naturally like that. So if he didn't make me like that, he made me the way I am. I should try to get used to the way I am. Even all my insecurities and everything that I have, I need to just own up to it and just like learn to cope with it and just adjust to it. A lot of people smoke weed because they're not comfortable being under their own skin, but you just got to get used to it, and you just got to just cope with it. Like I said, man, I don't agree with that. Unless you got medical conditions that you really legitimately need it, I think you could get away without it and just give up on trying to be something like your alter ego and just be comfortable with who you are. It's not like I'm gonna be in that state of mind forever. It's just a temporary feeling. So why would I want to put myself in a temporary feeling? It's like a radio station. I'm always on 95.5 on my default state. So I'm like trying to escape and go to 97.9. But that's only for a short time. And then I'm going to have to come back to 95.5. So why the hell would I want to waste my time and my life going to a different frequency when I can't even live in that frequency forever? So what? I feel comfortable, more comfortable, I feel more outgoing, I have more fun in that frequency. That doesn't mean anything, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to come back to reality at 95.5 frequency at my default natural state. So I might as well get used to it in that frequency. Think about this. If you go to prison right now, if I got locked up right now in solitary confinement, I built my mind up where I didn't need to depend on any substance, no drinking, no weed or anything like that. They could put me in solitary confinement for years and I will not crack, because I know how I am. I know I built myself, how I built myself, my mind and everything. I sharpened it, I learned from my flaws, my mistakes, my insecurities, I grew from it. I know how I am inside and out. So I'm not gonna crack in no solitary confinement. But the guy, alhamdulillah for that. But the guy that goes to solitary confinement, he's always constantly drinking, constantly getting high. I guarantee you he's gonna crack in a matter of days. Because he doesn't even know who he is as a person. He always is constantly escaping reality, doesn't get used to himself under his own skin with his own thoughts, his own insecurities, his own life. He's not even getting used to it, he's just escaping it. So that's why I'm saying you just gotta build yourself from inside out, from the ground up. You got to learn about yourself, how you are as a person, your insecurities, everything about you, and then you got to try to grow from it. You got to learn from your insecurities. You got to try to change it. You can't do that if you're constantly getting high and drunk and just trying to, you know, escape reality. That's the reality of it. And it's the same with drinking. That's why you got to just build yourself in a natural state. That's the best way, because God put you on earth. He put us all on earth in a natural state. So why should we try to escape that and go to a different frequency when that's not our reality? That's not how we're gonna be. It's not gonna change us, shape our minds to be that way forever. So it's only temporary. So you might as well get used to yourself the way you were put on this earth, instead of constantly trying to be something that you're not by getting high, you know, being something you're not. Because you're obviously doing that because you think that high version of yourself or that drunk version of yourself is like a better version of you, or a superior version or something like that, or you feel more comfortable within your own skin. That's why you're always constantly going to that. But if you made your natural self the superior version of yourself, you wouldn't want to get high. Believe it or not, that's why you're getting high. Or else, think about it. If you knew if you got high and if you got drunk, it would bring out a weak version of you, inferior version of yourself, why would anyone get high or drunk? They're only getting high or drunk because they feel that's a better version of them, or a superior version of themselves, or something like that. And they feel like they could be more outgoing and all that type of stuff. But if you build yourself where your natural state is the superior version of yourself, then whenever you get high or drunk, you would want to be like, man, I don't want to be drunk or high. I just want to go back to my natural state because I feel better. Because one example I'll give you of that is because, like, I built myself, like I said, on my natural state without having to get drunk or high. So I know how I am inside out. So one time I got high and I was so trying to get out of the high because I felt like damn, I feel like a weak version of myself. I looked at my sober self, my natural self, as a superior version. I was like, man, I'm so way better when I'm sober, and I'm a cooler person, I'm stronger, like, you know, I don't give a shit about this or that. Like, I'm a way cooler person. I was looking at my sober self as like this cool ass person that I was just trying to get the hell out of this high state. The reason I thought like that is because I did build my natural self that way, and whenever I got high, I felt like this is some bullshit. I'd rather go to my natural state. The reason I feel that way is because, like I said, I built myself like that at my natural state. I made my natural state more superior, and if I get high, I would feel like inferior. That's why I'm saying you just need to build yourself in your natural state with all your insecurities, so you'll be a superior version, the best version of yourself in a natural state, instead of having to escape to getting high or smoking or doing drugs, alcohol. So you won't even want to do that because you're already in the best version right here in your natural state. That's what I'm saying. That's my opinion. You guys don't have to agree with it. That's just how I look at it. Like, if you disagree, that's fine, but that's how I see it. Everybody got their own opinions, so, you know, I'm not sorry about it. It's just how I feel.